Hello, hello, hello. Whoops. Breaks. There we go. All right. So just want to get that in there. Sorry about that. All right. So hello, hello, hello. There you go. It's back again. It looks like it is. Is it back again? Yeah, Nvidia did update yesterday, so it looks like it's back again. Let me know if you can hear me. It looks like it is. I can see it. There we go. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I was talking, then it disappeared. So maybe it was because I updated the graphics card again. It always kills the sound for some reason. But then I was excited because you were like, "Oh, sound is good." I was like, "Oh, all right, I'm all good." Um, but anyway, yeah, what I was saying was obviously, his comments about, oil will still continue to trade there is obviously not true. We had reports this summer that Saudi Arabia actually um, accepted Chinese currency. So to say that it's only being done in U.S. dollars is incorrect. Right? It is wrong. All right. So with that, again, we got what 22 minutes before the bombs start dropping, so we'll see. Like I said, I'm assuming all eyes are going to be focused on that. Things are currently positive right now, a little bit. We had a big down draw and like got kind of bottoms were put in, so we'll see where it goes. VIX right now, obviously VIX has accelerated. It kind of went up yesterday. Really, the bottom fell out of the market yesterday pretty quickly. Which is interesting because as it went down in preparation for this, it's kind of like, are we going to see a reversal and is it going to skyrocket today? And right now, after a big down, everything's pretty decently in a good position right now. The weakest is zero point 0.3, the strongest is zero point 0.6, so we're averaging about 0.5% higher. VIX is down a little bit from where it closed, but it's still up from where we were yesterday. The fruit flies. I think the next batch um, just hatched because I was like, man, there was just like a couple of them here yesterday. Um, and I'm telling you, man, this apple cider vinegar dishwash soap works awesome. I'm like, I can't believe how many are in there, but there's definitely a bunch more. So I think the first round of hatching occurred. So I don't know. I may have to like come in here with like the vacuum cleaner or just go insane in a little bit. With this one, the traps are working great though. I'm loving the traps. I don't think they can lay eggs as they're dying. I don't know. Maybe they can. I don't know. No idea. So if you hear me clap every so often, that would be why. I am clapping because there is a fruit fly in my face. Um, all right. So yeah. So VIX is higher again. Shows that it's down, but it's much higher than where we were yesterday. There we go. Man, I'm getting good at catching them too. Dollar right now. Dollar's actually up. I mean, it shows that it's only up 0.08, but from where we were yesterday morning, you can see we're flirting around here with the 103. Where are we at? 1030 right here. The 103.70. We're up at 104.08, so we're higher. We did just pull back, and there was a little bit of a gap last night. And again, we're sitting right around. So right now, it kind of lined itself up, although it is spiking right before he talks. So the question is this going to be a is this going to be something where all of a sudden he says something and it's like straight down? You know, um, that's kind of it's like, ooh, we're rallying right before he speaks, right? You never want to see that. You're like, oh, not what we're looking for. And again, everything is red or green right now, instantaneously. I don't know. It could be really, really green, or we could see, this may be the pullback, and this may just be people kind of, get in before he speaks, and it may be up here. Um, Right now, commodities kind of mixed across the board. Oil hovering at 80. And again, some of that right now, you can see it's kind of popping up between those two levels. And again, it kind of bounced off of it. And again, it's playing ping pong between those two levels now. It hit it, hit it, hit it, hit it, hit it, hit it. So it's playing ping pong with those two. Again, I think everybody's waiting for Powell to speak. Natural gas down again, 248. That was about where we were yesterday, down 1.39. It did rally back a little bit. Gold, 1933. I'm sorry, 1913, right? 1913. I swear, fruit flies are the dumbest animals ever. Down a smidge. Silver up a smidge, right around 24.11. Again, where they're both peak right now, doesn't look like they kind of know where to go yet. And again, I think they're waiting to see what Powell is going to do as well. Going across the Aussie dollar, we'll see what we can cover. So, interestingly enough, it's following the same thing. We were hoping we kind of went up. It, unfortunately, man, they just rolled dollar strength, dollar strength, dollar strength, dollar strength, dollar strength, bank, 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 and we're kind of sitting there right now. So we've really forced this thing, and we've gone straight down. And there's not really the best of levels over here. I mean, this one, two, three, and then we started to kind of bounce along the top. You're like, oh, it's breaking. There's definitely not a long out of this one. We could kind of put it down and say, hey, listen, there was the last red base. We're kind of pulling into it for Powell to speak. But there's not really a whole lot left down there to really be like a great call. And I mean, it drove down ahead of time. The question is he gonna, with all the dollar strength we saw yesterday, is he going to slam? Is he gonna say that, we are done raising? It just takes time for this to fully work, right? I mean, if that's what he's saying, are we gonna see much more? Are we gonna see crazy move in this one? Now, this is a lot of movement, very, very quick, right ahead of time. And again, it's all dollar strength based. And again, we saw that in the Dixie starting to take off. So again, it's not at one of the two levels that we wanted. Again, it's hitting a level that's been pushed pretty deep already. And right now, on a tip, and again, this is one of those events that I would say is not a typical news release. Um, I would say that this is not the typical, you know, this is not the typical release, right? Jackson Hole, this is a big deal. There's a lot of eyes on this right now, and everybody's talking about it, right? Pal risk overprice. Yeah, everybody's talking about it. Typically, with a regular news release, if you see this type of kind of pressure right ahead of time, it typically tells you what's going to happen, and it's going to turn and boost. So if this was just, if this was like CPI and you saw this 9 times out of 10, that's what it's doing, right? 9 times out of 10. But the question is with Powell, is that what's going to happen? Um, I I think there's a different level of risk on this one. I really do, and I was really hoping we'd be at one of the two extremes. So right now it is pulling back. If you could get like a cheap options position, which you're probably not going to be able to, but if you could, right, this would be one of those times where you take this one long. Again, risk is very small in this one. The spreads are not doing bad. I mean, this is obviously Oanda, right? This is a live at Oanda. It's 1.2, so it's not horrible considering. Oanda tends to be a little bit better with news releases. It hasn't gone like absolutely insane crazy yet, so it's not the worst of positioning on this one. But again, it's not quite there yet. We need about 15 minutes. It is driving into there very, very fast. And again, are they trying to get it on sale before this one takes off? And again, this is a dollar weakness based trade. Again, I think if Powell talks about how, we don't want to go too crazy and cause problems. I think if he has a dovish statement, I think this one continues to drop. Or I'm sorry, to skyrocket to the top side. So kind of a hard position on this one. This is one of those ones that we're not really in the greatest areas right now for a trade. It's not at one of the two extremes with buyers or sellers, and we're at a level where we've hit 4 times already. So not really what you're looking for. Aussie yen. Now we talked about the consolidation. It did end up channeling lower, and we were looking for kind of a good hiccup. We didn't get it. It kind of went here and then did it base in there? Not really. The base kind of came up higher. So Unfortunately, we are looking for this to push lower, and we're really kind of right where we were yesterday. This one never really gave us, and again, I like this Harry Potter, but then it went through, and then it kind of did it again, and then it kind of went down. And it's like, okay, well, where's the base? Well, the base wouldn't be until all the way up in here, and at that point, it was super late at night. So, unfortunately, this one didn't really give us the setup that we were looking for, and it really just kind of channeled back and forth. Oh, here's a big one. Oh, I missed it. They love the monitor. They're just so into the monitor, but I can't smack at the monitor. Everything go right off the desk. Um, so again, this is not really telling us anything right now. This one obviously will be, and it's a double proxy. Obviously, gold with the Aussie, and then yen, obviously with the Dow. So this one will probably have some movement. What I'd really like to see on this one, ideally, I'd love to see this kind of spike up like that, and then hit this 94. Like if we could see one of these, um, that's what I would love to see on this one. That would be the ideal scenario for me. If we could spike up, grab this one, and then kind of tear its way back down again, I think that would be great. But we're kind of sitting in the middle. There's not really great buyers or great sellers above or great buyers below on this one. Again, kind of, this is a double proxy. It's not a direct, result either way of what's going to happen. And you can see the movement, it's 0.12. So it really hasn't moved much. But if it does skyrocket higher, I do think there's an interesting trade up there. Look for a turn and roll back to the downside. So it's there. It's just we need some help, right? We need some help. And again, if Powell gives us that weakness, like it's kind of looking like across the board, right? Um, that could be the potential trade, right? I mean, what are we talking about? 50 pips? It's got a 30 pip 4 hour ATR. So it's right in the wheelhouse of where this thing could spike to turn and roll back to the downside. So I mean it's in the right spot. I mean it's where it's where it should go, right? But right now, is our trade setup? No, no, either way. Euro dollar. Euro dollar, you can see we were looking for this to really find a bottom yesterday, and it ended up just continuing down. It reversed. We had the 8:30 up, and then the 10:30 reversal was there. We were kind of hoping we'd be up there, but we didn't. We actually pushed all the way down again. And interestingly enough, now this one actually did pull back, and coming off the new bottom. Excuse me. There is a 23.6 in here, right? We're kind of right at that level now. Now, again, is a 23.6 really designed for a news volatility kind of trade? Not really, but you can see the spread on this one is up to 2 already. So it's starting to increase a little bit because the dollar's involved. 2 is high for a euro dollar spread. It's not a lot compared to other things, but for euro dollar, the most traded currency pair in the world, 2.1, 2.2, you know, yeah, 2.2. It's starting to pick up again because everybody knows what's going to happen in 10 minutes. So where we are now, obviously we did not go up to where we wanted to go to. I think, again, if we give a massive dollar weakness, there's about 87 pips in there. That's a daily ATR. That's a little bit high, but maybe now, and again, we know that this kind of got itself out there, but you can see there is a level of basing kind of sitting right there, right? Right there. Um, Change it to this. Could we see a spike up? That's about 50 pips. That could, if we spike up into there, that could be again, a way to kind of wick up and then turn and play this post. Right now, where it is, again, the hour beforehand, it is pulling back down. It is coming back to a level of basing. So it almost looks like it's going to be one of these, right? Um, it almost looks like this is how it's setting up right now. And again, it's 7 for 35. Right? It pulled back to a level of basing and a continuation pattern. Kind of what it looks like right now, right? So, question is, will it gap when he starts talking? Will it gap or will it slowly start to kind of tick up again? So that's kind of what it looks like, right? I mean, rally, right? Impulse correction, impulse correction back to a level of buying. Here's a big question. Let's see. Is that actually a 23 as well? It is. Look, it is a 23. So it has kind of gone just a little bit lower, but it's holding there. So as people are pulling back, it's kind of like, could this be an area where they're looking to get long and buy? Say the potential's there, right? The potential's there. And again, another dollar weakness based trade setup, right? And again, it's the dollar strength is rolling back in right before he started the talk. And you can see this one. I mean, it says 38 pips, but we're minus zero point zero 0.06. You know, we were sitting here. So I mean, it's besides this little, in an hour, 2 hours, we're exactly where that is. So yeah, I feel like again, it's giving us showing us another dollar weakness based trade. I mean, the question is it so obvious what he's going to say, right? Um, Again, 23.6 level of basing pulled back, trend continuation. Is there anything over here really stopping it? Not really. I mean, we just pushed above this last one before pulling back at 8:30 to go higher. So, and again, at 8:30 there was no real, major news today. So, funny. Revised view of end consumer sentiment. No one cares today. No one cares. It's this right here, right? It's this followed by this, followed by this, and again, Harker, I don't think said anything major yesterday. I didn't see any major forecasts or comments or whatever. So yeah, it's what it's looking like, right? Again, is it going to be a big surge? Is it going to be dollar weakness? We didn't get the overnight moves like we would thought. It was all the other direction, and then it pulled back. So yeah. Now you're a pound. You're a pound. Again, we find this. We had this top yesterday. We talked about it. There wasn't much there. We hit it at 9:30. We hit it at 12:30. Went a little bit higher at 4. Kind of came higher again, and then again the overnight started, pushed down, and we're kind of in the same spot, right? Top to bottom, this looks like a lot of movement. If we take the extreme ranges, you can see it's only about 25 pips, so it's kind of more like that. We were calling for 86.01. We're obviously not there, so at this point, it looks like this is going to be more of a at what time? At 2:30? I don't think that's going to be enough at 2:30. At this point, I would move this one to there, right? Maybe we get a spike up. I think right now this is more lined up for a Sunday, right? Again, there's a speech today at 2:30, but both the markets are already closed. And if this is coming in at, yeah, coming in at 3 o'clock p.m., is there going to be enough movement? No, 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 not so much. I think this is more of a Sunday night. And again, there's two different positions we have on this one. A short of this one coming at 86.01, and then 85.33 are the two areas that yeah, we'd be looking for this one to turn. All right. So yeah, where this one is right now. Trade setup? No. No. And again, euro and pound, neither one of these should have too much exposure to pound speaking. Euro yen. All right, so euro yen. We wanted this to pull back, and it's doing the exact opposite. What? It is surging from 3 o'clock this morning. It is surging higher, coming back up to that 85.24. So here's where we were yesterday, and we saw it deteriorate down. Again, we were looking for one more push. We didn't get it. It did go lower, right? It did go lower from where we wanted, but we were looking for a little bit more from that one. So, let's see. This one will have some yen exposure. It's about 40 pips. It's funny. This is a very interesting setup just like this. We talked about this one, man. If we could get a spike up, that would be awesome. If we can get a spike up here. Now, it is much closer proximity. There is another little position up here. Again, I like when the green is the high, not the red. There are two up here, so I'm wondering maybe if, again, depending on where that spike is, if we start the halt in that area, could be a reversal today. And again, this would be purely a yen Dow proxy play, but very similar to what we're seeing in the other pairs. Euro dollar also at a point where we could see a spike, and then reversal. Euro pound also kind of spiking up, and again, the news won't affect it too much, but we know that there's sellers up there, so very similar, right? Euro strength across the board. It's not the worst of positions, God, will this one have enough time? Ugh. This one will have more opportunity today to move versus the euro pound because the yen is involved. Obviously, the Japanese market is closed, but again, being that proxy with the Dow, as the Dow kind of moves around, it will also affect the yen. And again, with no European influence because the European market closing in 2 hours, this one does have room to run. It can move 40 pips pretty easily. Question is, will we get a spike out of it? Right now, this is a confirmed level, right? There is a confirmed level sitting right there. And again, there's a rally up. Maybe do you take a little bit more of a chance that this would be kind of a yen down position, right? A yen strength type position. And it obviously could, right? Is it the original one we drew? No. Is it a confirmed level? Yes. Are confirmed levels really designed, in the middle of nowhere? Are they really designed, if it's not at an extreme for news? Not really, but again, it's sitting right there, right? And That one's 13 for 40 in the other direction. So not the worst position. And again, crazy enough, right? This one has a 128 pip daily ATR. The spread is 2.1, 2.3, 2.2, 2.1. Where euro dollar is now, it was just 2.5, 20, 19, right? And this one only has a 71 ATR. So it shows you how much the euro dollar is actually inflated right now. So yeah, there's that. Again, a little bit more risk involved in this one because of the yen proxy, but the way that everything else looks, particularly with the euro, it looks like it wants to be a short. Right? It looks like it wants to be a short. Pound dollar. Look, pound dollar has a 1.8, 1.7. It's a lower spread than the euro dollar. And same thing, right? It ended up going lower. You can see here it hit it and then came down and based and then did it again and did it again. It's like, oh God, it's breaking. It's not holding. And it did. It broke lower. So this is where we're at right now. We are also at a 23.6. It did just pull back before, again, Powell spoke as well. And it is a decent mover, right? It's 35 pips. So again, this profit target was hit yesterday. We'll take that one out. This guy is out. At this point, we can just move this down and start putting it a little bit lower. We got a red, green, red in there. We're going to move that. Red, green, red, break. There we go. We're going to leave that right there. So where we are with this one, same thing. You know, traditionally, when we see an hour and a half of movement in one direction, it typically tends to lead us to believe it's going the other direction. You can see there is an area of basing in here, right there. And it pulled right back before the news. Right there. Right? And it's already at it like a 1-to-1, right? Already sitting at a 1-to-1. So again, if if you played this pullback, and again, it was probably a 50% retracement as well. Let's see. Right? Yep. Look at that. That zone literally boxed in between the 50 and the 61.8. Right? So yeah, I mean, not the worst of positions, right? Pretty easy grab, kind of accelerating to the top side right now. At this point, you lock yourself in. You could kind of put a, little. You could put a. I don't know why that's not working. Put yourself a little stop in there so it doesn't cost you anything, right? If you just want to trail that one higher, or just be like, hey, you know what? I'm happy with the 15 pips or whatever it is. How many pips is it up right now? Yeah, it's up 15 pips. You'd be like, yeah, you know what? There's about to be a lot of volatility. And you know what? I'm just going to shut it down and let it go. Right? Again, there's big news coming. Right? We know there's big news coming. So, again, set it and forget it. Lock yourself in some profit. Either one works. Right? Again, there's nothing wrong with shutting it down before news because again, news is a gamble. Right? News can be a gamble. Right? There are some people that know, but we are not some of those people. So, yeah, but nice little pullback. Looks just like the other one. Pound yen. So pound yen did go off the 83.59 we talked about yesterday morning. Thursday we were sitting right here, and it did. It looks like it actually based off of it and then came in, gave us a red, green, red right here. I'm sorry, a green, red, green. We did pull back and grab it and now pushed higher. So this one is officially just out. What's interesting about this one, right? If we go from high to low right now, you can see that it's also basing in there. There is a zone in there, right? There is a zone sitting. It's really kind of right there. We're kind of sitting right there in that zone, right? To the downside, we would shrink this a little bit. We'd put it there to there, right? So right now, this would move back down, and the overall downside target would be 183.54. Again, there is a proxy play in this one. Right? There's a little proxy play in that. This one is spaced out more like that. Actually, you could have actually done this. Sorry, you could have done that one there. Right there, up the confirmation brings it to 11. Let's see what this one looks like. Actually, either one of these two would have triggered it. Doesn't matter. 12, much better. 3 is sitting right there. So let's see. All right, so here's where the volatility is going to start getting crazy. All right, we're up to 3.3, 2.3, 1.9, or 2.2, 1.9. So euro yen is lower than euro dollar. Aussie dollar only at 1.4, interestingly enough. And again, look, we did hit that area too. Let's see what the dollar index is doing. We got 5 minutes before Powell's. Oh God, look at that. It did look. It pulled down and it came up and grabbed that level too. God, is it going to do it here also? Man, it does need to break the bottom. So this one's a little bit deep. This one's a little bit deep. And again, this is a dollar index, so this is not really something you're not trading. We're not really necessarily trading the dollar index, but that's what it would need to do, right? Again, talking about weak dollar again. God, is Powell going to just tank us today? Hmm. Mm-mm-mm. Consumer sentiment wasn't good either. It's revised. Come on, like you didn't know the first time. Hmm. It's trying. All right. So, what time did we hit this? Late last night. Actually, yeah, about 11 o'clock last night, 12 o'clock last night. We talked about the zone. Mentioned I don't really love this zone. The wicks are basically at the same exact spot, and you can see it kind of came up and grabbed, and it did pull back down again. It was a decent pullback down from that level, about 25 pips. And then what did it do? 730 rallied, strong dollar strength. And again, do I like this one of all of them? No. I definitely don't like this one for short. It is kind of pushing higher. It's funny. It's like, oh yeah, let's get it in. Let's get it in so we can short this one. It just kind of it also is signifying kind of more of a dollar weakness based trade. Crazy. Crazy. We were looking for down here to see dollar strength, and it did the exact opposite. It went up, and now it's hovering right around those highs at 136. 136. Um, hmm. Hmm. Man, all signs are like, yep, Pal's going to nuke this dollar. Pal's going to nuke this dollar. I don't know. Again, we know they're holding it for a long time, but I feel like if Powell says, there's no need to artificially inflate it higher than it needs to be when you're already restrictive, I feel like if Powell confirms that there is no more raises coming in, which I think we should raise one more time. But if Powell confirms that there's no more raises, that we're already in restrictive, we don't need to go more restrictive. It is coming down, even though we saw a quick. If he basically justifies that there was an increase last month just because of yeah, big slow moving double one there. Sorry guys. Um, sorry, I got really excited because it was going towards my coffee, and like when there's two of them connected together, you guys know what they're doing. Getting ready to make my life even more difficult, and they're slower moving. So when they're slower moving, it's I got to take advantage of the situation, right? Easy kills, just right. Uh, it's already. He's not even speaking yet. He's not even speaking yet. God, what is the dollar next doing? Uh look, it's already cranked past. Jesus, look, he has he started? Has he said anything yet? He doesn't go on till 10:05. It's 10:04, and they're already blasting it. Oh, here you go. Okay, maybe he went on a little bit early, right? But Jesus, look, it's getting nuked already. Mm, there you go. I don't think he's spoken yet. Let's see. Yep, there's 1 to 3. There's your out. Oh, it's trying. It's trying. There you go. It is officially out. Oh, it's trying. This one's a little bit different. See, it's already pushed up, so it's trying to get yen help. That one is out. Dollar cat is just Dollar CAD whipping all over the place. Not too shabby though. I mean, that was tiny. This was only six. This was only a 6 pip range here. So again, nothing to write home about that one. It was only 1923. Nice little pullback. Did it reach its top level? Hold on, let me move this. Did it reach the top? It did. Look, it did touch that level too. 35. Again, this one's having problems. Look at the chop back and forth on this one. Wasn't bad. It pushed all the way down here, though. It was a pretty decent little runner. See, again, this is the nature of the proxy. The proxy is always harder. And see how I was whipping back and forth, and it was all the way down to here? So this one was technically up 22. Yeah, see how I was up 22? God, we can't even see into that one. It did drop first. Yeah, so this one was up. Yeah, you're up about 27. And look, see, it's, again, this is the nature of that proxy. They're trying to figure that one out. Look, it's a pretty decent candle there for this one. Yeah, it's 45 pips, so it's almost a 4-hour ATR in one candle. Open and close right in the same spot. 7 minutes, they're jacking around. And then again, same with this one. Right? Look at this guy up and down. People are really, they're jacking the volatility on this one. Yeah, 33 pips. 4-hour ATR is 27, so they are just absolutely just ransacking this one. Has he said anything? Oh, we're prepared to raise verts further if appropriate. Oh, he's doing that. I hate that if appropriate. Let's see. What do we got in here? We intend to hold rates at restricted level until confident inflation is moving substantially down there. Yeah. Fed will believe carefully when deciding to rate again or hold steady. Economic uncertainty calls for agile poll making. Okay. Fed will decide next rate move based on data. 2 months of good data are only the beginning of what we need to build confidence on inflation path. Policy is restrictive, but Fed can't be certain what neutral level rate is. Signs job market not cooling could also warrant more of, yeah. Unfortunately, I don't think the job market has really done much yet. Overall, these are pretty tame comments, right? And again, I think this is the gem right here. We intend to hold rates at restrictive level until confident inflation is moving substantially down to 2%. Instead of saying we are confident it's moving down, right? Now, until we're confident. So there's still some questions there. So let's see, what is the dollar index doing? Yeah, see how it pulled back in time? Interesting how that worked out. So it wasn't even necessarily what he said. It was the concern about what he was going to say is really what the mover was. And we're going to get more. I mean, he's going to say more stuff. He's literally just started, he hasn't said everything he's going to say yet. So, but yeah, I think, again, we're prepared to raise rates further if appropriate. Doesn't signal much. Again, it's going to come down to 2 months of good data are only the beginning of what we need to build confidence on inflation path. So we need another month of good piece. And again, giving us that warning side. Thank God I was already out of the market. I've been the victim of up and down. Yeah, I think that person's right. Right. Again, it was what's he going to say was the trade today. And again, they were all pullbacks to zones, so not bad. Come on, I know there's more in this one. Come on, give me what else you got too. I know you're not done in 4 minutes. So, all right. So let's see. Yeah, the market's like, what does he mean by that? Yeah, look, see, still pushing higher. It's like, look at the whip back and forth to dollar CAD. So again, it's not a bad spot. Like I said, it's my opinion is, yeah, I think that's a little bit more. I think it's basically leaving the door open for more stuff. It's not the certainty that people wanted. They're not confident that they're where they need to be yet, which I think says a lot. And again, giving us that warning about the labor markets. That labor market warning. It's like, hey, and by the way, he could have just said we're confident in the data, but then he says, or if the labor market heats up more. It's like, oh, so there's another caveat to going higher. So, yeah, this very interesting spot. Again, I think we probably do cap out with the dollar CAD just a little bit here if oil continues to creep higher. And again, oil's struggling a little bit. Dollar Swiss. So dollar Swiss is pulling back. This one, we did have an alert that went off on it. Right here. This one went off at 10:15 last night. We hit that level. And you can see this one has pulled back. And really the news didn't affect this one too much. This was a pretty easy, right? Again, this is one of those overnight trades. 1 to 3 was right there. You were actually out at 8:30 this morning. So again, it was a 7 for 22, right? And again, that's why the alerts are nice. You don't have to be there. If you were awake at 10:15 and you were able to see, I didn't get that one. If you were able to hear the alert, again, easy little, high to low. And again, dollar weakness. Look at this dollar weakness. Ran up, triggered, dollar weakness trade coming in. Again, they're still going into the week here, right? Again, nice little runner off that one. That wasn't horrible, right? You're down about 42 pips on that one. Again, it's only about 25 pip move. So, and it went right back to where it should have been. So again, decent little trade setup there. So we can take this bigger zone off. We don't need that anymore. Yeah, we drove to the extreme, and the news didn't really affect it whatsoever. So we'll take that guy off. Let's see, where will there be potential hiccups in this one? Yeah, probably here. It's a test right around the 61.8. I would say that that's probably a decent level if you can get down to there, the 88.08. Make sure you get yourself out of that trade. There's no point in sticking in that one any longer than you need to. But again, easy overnight trade on that. Look at this one. This is hysterical. So yeah, so we were talking about this level, and you can see it started the base before. You're like, oh, it's gonna break, and it was already a 1. It was already a 2. It hit it, pulled back, and started the base. You're like, yep, it's gonna break. Yep, nothing's coming out of this one. Um, Actually, let's leave that there. Top wasn't hit. Let's run this all the way up now. It was there, but we can pull it all the way up to there, I guess. We don't even need these for shorts. Yeah, I'm just gonna take these off right now. See, it depends if that's going to be the top or not. Yeah, you can see this one. Look at the amount of indecision. Dow doesn't know what to do. Dollar doesn't know what to do. Is it going to be weak? Is it going to be strong? Again, they can't get out of there. All trending. And again, this is why I was never a really huge fan of the dollar yen ever. But right now, with again, interest rates affecting what happens with the Dow, so the proxies are weird. Is it strong? Is it good? Is good bad? Is bad good? Look at this. Just nothing. This wouldn't have had anything. Again, on the high side, that 146 is also getting involved right now. How big was this candle? Let's see. 58 pips. So it's got a 4-hour ATR of 39. So it moved half of a day's worth of movement up, down, and really not much difference. But it does look like it is more dollar weakness. And again, it had rallied all the way high. So it is kind of more meant for that turnaround. Now, interestingly enough, Bitcoin also down at 26. It's down 0.3%, down 83. So again, still having problems. It's funny that it says there you can always tell the people like in the car listen to CNBC, and you hear the people and you're like, oh, what's your opinion of Bitcoin? She's like, well, I don't have one because I think it's garbage. She's like, I don't think it's an investable asset class. There's plenty of volatility in stocks. There's no reason to take that on. I was like, wow. And the other guy's like, oh, Bitcoin's a great buy down here. It was up at 30, now it's at 26, so it's cheap. It's like, oh my god. But yeah, but you gotta love the people who are like, nope, not investable asset for me. Don't care. Never liked it. Never given an opinion on it. It's like, okay. Um, but expect this one to also continue and push back to the downside. Again, we are hitting a level right now, so if there's going to be a little reversal in the dollar, this is probably where it's going to happen. A lot more is going to depend on what Powell has to say. Plus, again, being Friday, we're probably going to run out of time. Let's see, do we get any more? Nope. No, that's the whole statement. So, yeah, we'll probably get a couple more headlines, but I think that the bulk of it is out. Crude oil. So crude, you can see we mentioned this earlier, kind of playing ping pong. We knew we had sellers. It wasn't the best spot up here. It was a 61.8, so we know that we had a little bit of help from that. Nope, I missed that one. God, the monitor is bright, and then it goes up, and I can't see it because it's dark in the room. You can see the ping pong effect. Boing, bounce off the zone. Boing, hit it again. Boing came down again. Boing broke it. Boing came down again, and now we're kind of struggling back and forth again. Over on a Friday, remember this one closes earlier. We can take this zone off, even though it's kind of hit it a few times at this point. Right now, where oil is, the thing about this one is we don't really have any sellers stepping in. In oil markets, they will use the 78.6, so they will have sellers coming in up there around 80.84, and there are sellers sitting there. Right now, again, some of this will have to do with Powell. Again, we're not really getting much data out of China right now, but I think where we are for over the weekend, I'd like to see us close below 80 because I think that would be substantial. But the way it looks right now, I mean, it did pull back to find some more buyers. If it's able to go through, there's nothing really stopping this from going up to 80, 84 right now. Again, there's no sellers sitting over here whatsoever until really, again, the artificial kind of, the 78.6, but there is a level sitting there, based off of this candle right here, right? So we do know that there are people sitting up there. If we can kind of close and maintain up there, I don't think it's a horrible place to kind of take shorts for next week. Um, we could have 2 or 3 days of kind of, somewhat more of an oil swing trade to the downside. But as far as playing this one on Friday, again, this market does close early. It will start to line around noon. I don't think there's enough time to us to get really in a position and be able to take profit on it. And again, that just, it just happens with Fridays. There's just nothing you can do with Fridays. So that's kind of where I think we stand with that. As far as natural gas goes, we had that big surge yesterday at 10:30, and again, this was the inventory report, and then immediately retraced. So talk about a big parabolic retracement. By late last night, you'd already retraced all the way back down again from 256 all the way back down to 246. Losing 10 cents in that one is substantial. And then, funny enough, it rallied up this morning and then also kind of shot right back down again. And it's funny, that old level down here where we were talking about that 247, you can see it hit it, it hit it, it hit it. It was a bottom, then it was a top, and then it came down, and then it was that same base. It just happened to be the bottom twice. Again, you can see, look at that. Same thing, it turned on that one as well. Look, little confirmation here and over there. So it's funny how natural gas, so many of these zones are, continue to hold up, right? God, look at this. Anybody that traded the 23 just boom, sliced right through, right? Right now, natural gas, I don't know if we can really kind of break below it, right? I'll leave that zone there just because it is fun to watch that. But I mean, obviously, there's a zone sitting right down here. I'll change that to make this one orange just so it's a little easier, right? I wouldn't be surprised if we close down there, right? If we close down there and then there's one comment this weekend about how we're going to have one more little bit of heat wave or something like that, I think there could be a potential buy off of that one. I don't know if we can go much lower than 240. Again, at 248, I know that seems like a lot, but we did have a 10-cent move yesterday. Yeah, it's all right. Not really. I mean, I'm not taking a buy off this. Not on a Friday. I think if we get back down here, if we have a Sunday night open, I think you could have potential long trade from there. Friday, Sunday, boom, right there. All right. All right. Gold. So gold, you can see gold's whipped back and forth. We were looking for this really to come back down to 1903, and you can see it's really been just battling back and forth. I mean, a pretty defined channel from there to there, right? I think we probably do turn and roll, right? Was that data substantial enough today to really kind of change the trajectory of gold? I don't know. Um, didn't really make any. I mean, maybe he gets asked a question, or maybe he does make a comment, and then we really see the gold buyers or sellers come in. Um, but right now, if anything, if I had to, if this was like a seesaw, right? I would have to put like, and you're putting rocks on one of the two sides. I would have to put the rock on his statement being a little bit more hawkish, basically saying we don't know what we're doing, but here's every reason we could raise it again if we feel we need to, right? Um, versus the other side that it's like, so far this looks good, this look like all these factors are the reasons why we wouldn't do it, but we're going to hold it and wait till next time. He's not explaining why they're going to hold it. He's giving more reasons why they're going to raise it. So I feel like that is more the emphasis. So I put a couple more rocks on the raise one more time side, um, particularly with that warning about the labor market, right? Particularly with that, the labor market warning. So, um, yeah. So again, my opinion on this one is probably more bearish gold. Is there a great trade setup up here? I mean, I guess you could have traded it off this little level right here if you really wanted to. But again, it's in a level that we've hit multiple times. That's why we're leaving it on there. We know it's not the strongest area of sellers in there. So, again, this is one of those markets that does close, a little bit earlier. Um, it does close what 1:30? Is it 1:30 or 2:30 today? I forget. But yeah, 1:30 or 2:30 is when this one will turn, and that'll be it. So, yeah. Um, Silver. Silver's kind of the same spot, same type of level up top. No real trajectory change. This one kind of spiked up and down, but you can see we're 20 minutes deep into that candle, and it's up, down, and it's what do we do with it? right? It didn't hit the 24.45. No, nothing has been there. Gold is technically a little red right now, down -0.05, and this is up 0.37. Could it start to falter and drop below 24? Probably. This one looks right now with the basing level right here and kind of a bit of a racetrack. I'm actually would shrink that down a little bit more. Um, are we going to have enough time for this one to work today? Probably not, because again, it is Friday and it's a little bit shortened. But 1 to 3 is only sitting right there, and that's kind of puts us right here where this last, it's a little tiny bit deep, just a little bit. But this one's almost looking like if we get a break of 23.96, pushing down to where 23.69, right? So again, it's a Harry Potter. It's kind of a racetrack over there. Where this pullback happened is just a little tiny bit deep. So again, it's not the worst of trades, right? Not the worst of trades. Um, it's not bad, you know, considering, right? Considering. Let's see. Do we get any more? I think all his comments are out right now. No, it's just still this one. Tony, that right there. Signs job market not cooling could also warrant more Fed action, right? Again, this one is way too high still. So yeah, I think we're gonna give us some more comments. Give us some more right now. Yeah, nobody really knows what to do with it. Let's see. Did Apple get affected at all? A little bit. Little spike up and down. It's like it's all right. Right? Look at that. Open and close, 30-minute candle. And again, I haven't switched it down to 15 yet. But 22 minutes in, up, down. It's like, oh God, what do we do? What does this mean? Are we raising it? Are we not raising it? Mr. Powell, tell us. Right? There's your 15-minute candle. Up and down, up and down. They don't know what to do with it yet. Tesla had a big spike up, from this morning. Um, Tesla is more than just a car company. I would have to agree with that. Tesla's not looking bad. Again, VIX should start deteriorating. The news is out. The dollar all the way down, all the way back up again, right back to where we started. People don't know how to take it, right? People don't know how to take it. Crazy enough, though, again, hour and a half straight up, just in time. And again, this one kind of shot down very quickly and then right back up. So we're kind of gave us a weird little kind of fake out. But again, a lot of whips all back and forth, but a nice little pull back to that level. So not the worst. All right, let's see what we had here on the 15 minutes on ES. Look at the candle. Um, let's see the 9:15. And again, when something like this is happening at 10 o'clock, 30 minutes after the open, is this the ideal opportunity to trade an opening print? No, no. Just so everybody knows, um, there's your 9:15. Again, there was a confirmed zone in the overnight right there, right? There was a confirmed zone in the overnight. Would this one have pumped all the way up? Probably. It's a very small zone. Yeah, 1 to 3 is right there, right? And that's actually your 10 o'clock. So we move it back a little bit. There's your 9:30. So again, technically the level was confirmed. We missed it by a little bit, right? And then again, had the nice little surge higher. So I mean, there's one. Again, it was more associated with Powell than it was the opening of the U.S. market, but with him speaking at 10 versus 9:30, I think that's kind of how you had to take it. So there was a little opportunity at 9:15, right? A little opportunity. And again, now it looks like we're trying to roll negative with these things. Did it turn off anything? No. There's a wick over there. No, missed that one. So again, little trade action there. 15,000, baby. Look at 15,000. We close, we open, boom. Yeah, this one kind of the same thing. The big spike up again, right? You had a confirm level with the overnight right there. This one actually missed it, so if you would have put it on all the tops right there, you would have missed it. So again, kind of a long opportunity at 10. When it's 1 to 3, but funny that it based there. Yeah, right into these guys. It actually went a little bit higher than those, right? It actually went a little tiny bit higher than that level. It's a confirmed level too. It's not bad, right? It's not there's a small level there, is what that level there is not bad, but there is a wick against a wall right there, and that's what it hit. So yeah, there's a reversal play off that one, but again, not opening print. Wow. Well, look at this one here. Let's adjust this. Let's bring this back down. We'll go from here all the way down. You can see it was not really playing with much. 915 was red. This was green. Didn't really pull back to any levels. No confirmation until down here anyway. With it whipping back and forth, it looks like it grabbed this. Again, confirmed. Drop, base, drop, came back and confirmed it, and looks like that's what it ran into. Which, again, was more of a 10-15 type play. You could have taken in any of them here. What's this one? 930. You could have taken it at the 930 level, right? Wasn't necessarily in an overnight, but again, it was a decent level. 50, backstop by the 50% retracement level, but a drop base drop confirmed 50%. Opening hit it. Again, you didn't quite get to your 1 to 3. Actually, here probably did your 10 o'clock. And then obviously when Powell started to speak, it continued to move. This one is not negative, but it will be the next one to turn red. It is the second weakest behind the ES and NQ. NQ obviously is a little bit more insulated; it's a little bit better off. But if this is going to be negative sentiment right now, then that's it, right? Again, there's a level of buyers coming down here at 34,000, right? 34,100. It looks like is where they're at. But right now we're just surging. Everyone's like, "Oh crap, he's going to raise it." Let's see. Did he say something else? Doesn't appear so. I'm trying to see if there's anything additional that they added in there. No, just probably people talking about it online. Now that, again, all the talking heads are going to be talking about everything he just said. They're like, "Oh my god, he's going to do this, and what about this?" And the same way that I said, "Oh, that one statement," they're probably drumming people up right now. This is probably like the Bloomberg CNBC effect, right? For lack of a better word, all right? Talking about, "Oh my god, they didn't say that we're done. He said this. He said that." That or Uncle Warren's watching the program again. One of the two. But yeah, look, we're about to go negative. Russell. Yeah, look at all the drama in Russell. Again, we had some old levels over here. These are from priors. Let's pull a lot of these out. Let's run this one from most recent top to bottom. You can see it was playing with a 50. There's not really a great level over there. 930, yeah. So it pulled back. This was, again, 50. There's not a single thing out here. So there'll be some people that wanted to play this one. I can't see a line there. It's actually probably this one. It's probably this right here. See this rally? It's probably that. Again, not interested in this one. I think the other ones were much nicer, but it did push down. And again, is the most negative on the board. It has now breached kind of the overnight. It's breached all the overnight, and then obviously the market yesterday closed. It just closed. It just pushed a little bit below. So overall, I would say if the market is going to take this one as extremely negative, look for this one to continue to go lower. But as far as whips go, again, there were some decent trades in ES and NQ. YM kind of just all over the place, and then Russell again very whipsawly. It used the 50, so anybody that wanted to trade the 50 on that one, props to you. You took that one on a leap of faith. I mean, it was an old level though, so it you know wasn't like going off Niagara Falls in like a barrel, but yeah, close enough. All right, with that, it's 10:29 actually. It's not bad. Let me see this one. Oh, look at this. We're trying. Look at this. Look, we're right below 80. We're trying, man. We're trying. We put a lower high in right now. We do have some buying coming in down here, though, at 79. Look, we got buying coming in right here, right? Sitting right in here. Again, you can see it on the 15. That's why it looks weird. Right? You can see it right there. Right? That area right there. Oh, it's trying so hard. Maybe that's a top. If we can hold this one, if we don't surge on this next one, again, we have a red. As long as we have a green in 1 minute, right? Now we start to close. That shows us a confirmation of a trend change. There we go. We got the green in. Now we just need to close red, and again, we got to start chopping through this. So, oh god, it's there. We're right at 80. We're right at 80. If we can stomach this little bit, there we go. Look at the red. So yeah, it looks like we could potentially. Again, I want to close down here. I want to close it. I'll even take this. I'll even take 79.50. 79.50 would be great. So yeah, let's hope China or Russia doesn't do anything weird. So, all right, let's go ahead and do the drawing. 7 in today. We got our lemonade critic in today. Briggs going big. Mitch here as well. We got everybody in today. Where's Lady Luck? Lady Luck is not here today. I was like, wait. I was like, we should have more than 7 with the extra people. Look, she wins 2 this week, and then she starts partying. Right? She misses the rest of the week. See how that works? She's like, I won my 2. I'm good. See how it works? I overspent. I know. Well, Briggs, technically, technically you didn't, right? I mean, kinda, right? You won yesterday, right? So you're going for 100 today. Everybody else is going for 25, right? So it cost you 40 pip chips. So you're risking 40, right, to make 100. Kind of, it's close to 2.5, right? Right? It's not quite a 1 to 3, but it's there. It's not there. It's there. All right, I'm gonna give Marina 17 more seconds, 15 more seconds. She even won 2 this week. She's probably like, I'm on vacation. Let me know. All right, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, she missed it. Winner of today's drawing is. There you go, Briggs. So see, it cost you 40 pip chips, but you won 100, right? That's a way to get on there. Now it means Monday you're going for 250, right? See? See? You get 100. Look at that, Briggs. Number 26, baby. 26. You get a big jump. You be back on, back on page 1. Back on page 1. So, all right, with that, it is 10:32. I am out of here. Everybody have an amazing weekend. I know a lot of you, if you do have kids, your kids may have gone back or are going back. My kids go back next week. Hopefully there's no drama with it. I know Jen on Tuesday has her parent-teacher conference, so I'm undecided. I actually know the teacher, so I'm kind of undecided whether or not, because she's going to the school the boys went to. I'm undecided if I'm going to go back. I know the lady personally, so it's kind of like, do I need to go back and be introduced to who she is? I think Melissa may just take Jen, so we'll figure that one out. But yeah, yeah. So we'll see. Anyway, have a great weekend. Good trading if you're going to do any more trading today. Again, I think a lot of it is already out. And if not, look for some good Sunday night positions. And I'll see you guys Monday morning. Have a good one. Take care. I'll see you then.